Standing in for the president, Kevin Kline is Dave tonight at 11:35.
Hi there, pop pickers.
Good morning.
How's it happening?
Relax, don't do it when you wanna go.
Take a batch of fresh-faced cuties, one dedicated puppet master and lashings of market research, and you're well on the way to creating a chart-topping band. This week, Smash celebrates the unstoppable march of plastic pop in the British singles chart.
Katie, I'm going to make your wildest dreams come true. I've got the new music sensation for you.
OK, just 1 second. Girl band or boy band?
Boy band.
I think the manufactured bands are easier to market.
How many members, 4 or 5?
4. 4 steaming hunks of raw sexual energy in life.
It is disposable. That's what it's there for. It's escapism.
Have you got a cute young one?
Yes, Nikki.
And a fatter one who writes the songs?
Yes, Gareth.
But he doesn't actually write them, does he?
Oh, no, we'll be doing covers, obviously.
Some of the records I hear, I think, well, yeah, anybody could do that.
I think, the vast majority of pop has always been manufactured.
Well, obviously, the boy bands these days are crap, and the boy bands when I was famous were great.
If you hate me after
The most sensationally successful boy band ever was, of course, the Bay City Rollers. Back in the 70s, these 5 lads from Scotland sold over 120 million records worldwide. But in those days, the acts were a little less polished than today's plastic pop.
You get out there and you kick ass, get the audience excited. Nobody came along and choreographed us or anything like that.
Bye Bye Baby rocketed to the #1 spot. In 1975, it spent 16 weeks in the chart and was one of 10 massive hits for the band.
It was just mad. It was like, it was just a great time. We were young guys. I would think I was like 17 when I joined them. And it was 21 when it all sort of like finished for me. We were like more a theme band. We had our own thing. We had a tartan gimmick and we had like pop songs and we had the biggest fan following in the world at that time.
As with every manufactured band, there had to be a puppet master pulling the strings.
Yeah, this is room 1109. Can we have 4 Coca-Colas and 3 milkshakes, please? Strawberry.
With the Bay City Rollers, it was manager Tam Payton.
Tam was the sort of manipulator, but I don't think it was any like big smart thing that he does. I think like double glazing salesmen can do that. It's hard to gauge how successful he was as a manager. Got us accountant, got us a publishing guy, got us a really crap deal with Arista Records.
I keep on dancing.
In the early days, Tam Payton would change the lineup at the drop of a haggis. In the best tradition of plastic pop bands, at the end of the day, they ended up with nothing.
We had sold hundreds of millions of records, and we were told that we were all millionaires and all that stuff. And when the bad stuff hits the fan, and the group sort of like split up, when we went looking for those millions, and they weren't to be found. They were all hived off in overseas accounts and stuff like that. We spent years trying to get them through lawyers who, in the end, the lawyers milked us to death as well. It's just really bad story.
But in plastic pop, it's not always the band who end up getting shafted. Pop managers Chris Herbert and his dad put together the biggest girl band in chart history. But these 5 wannabes had plans of their own.
When we put together the Spice Girls initially, the whole market at the time was saturated by boy bands.
They were just frightened about girl bands because there weren't that many around at the time. There was like Eternal and there was a few female solo artists, but it was so male-dominated.
I was kind of looking at it, I was thinking, well, this is only sort of appealing to half the public. It is possible to put together a girl band which is sassy so that all the girls want to be like them, and also kind of sexy so that, every boy wants to, sort of get with them.
We were originally put together through an advert in the newspaper.
We did everything from sort of like street marketing, just by, you know, handing out flyers on the street, in clubs, pubs. We then put adverts in newspapers and just held a mass regional open auditions and gradually started weaning it down.
We all had this like quiet confidence, you know, maybe because we were all such dreamers and because we shared such a vision and we were so determined.
We decided it was best to kind of put them all up in one house.
I think that was a really important time for the Spice Girls when we lived together, because when it was like really, you know, when we were at the height of our success, we were together 24/7. So it was a good like training ground to find out things that irritate you and then sort of get over it.
We'd take it like a year to develop, and that'll be everything from singing, dancing, you know, choreography, the styling, getting it right, working on the characters, you know. I mean, it does sound manufactured, but I don't think that you can't manufacture the talent at the end of the day.
After 18 months hard work and more than £1 million spent, the Spice Girls decided to cut Chris Herbert loose before they'd earned him a penny.
We really felt that together we had something to offer, you know, so that was one of the main reasons why we left our first management, and because they weren't too hot about us writing our own stuff. So we went off, and that's what we done.
I think the music industry and pop is very capricious, and an example of the Spice Girls, where Bob and Chris Herbert discovered them, put them together, and then they went and decided to seek management elsewhere under the guise of Simon Fuller. It's very difficult if you want to try and make people millionaires, empower them, make them superstars, put them in the papers every day. If they then turn around and say, we're millionaires, we're in the papers every day, we're superstars, we can do what we like. That must be very difficult for the people that have put them together and produced the records.
Over my desk I have a sign, which has now become legendary in the record industry, and nearly everybody I know has got the same sign now. If you pick up a starving dog and feed it, it will be eternally grateful. This is the difference between a dog and a human being.